Hello, I'm Nikhil Makita, an undergrad student at IIT Dhanbad. I will be presenting our RAL IROS 2021 paper, a hierarchical dual model of environment and place-specific utility for visual place recognition. This work was done in collaboration with Professor Michael Milford and Dr. Saurav Garg at the QET Center for Robotics. So what is visual place recognition? In a very simple sense, visual place recognition is the process of identifying the location of a query image using a reference map of images with known locations. This query image can be captured at a different time, date, or from a different viewpoint. This might sound to be a simple task. However, conditions such as high perceptual aliasing, as seen in the leftmost column where the images are from two different cities, drastic viewpoint shift, as shown in the middle, and appearance changes due to the environment, for example, day versus night, make VPR a very challenging task. One of the earliest approaches to tackle VPR was using handcrafted features to perform image matching. However, the efficiency and the limited robustness of the features was a cause of concern. Ever since, there has been a huge body of work trying to tackle VPR with different approaches. One such intuitive approach was to exploit unique visual cues. In prior work such as What Makes Paris Look Like Paris, researchers have explored how unique visual cues tend to change across various places and cities. Furthermore, in work such as Avoiding Confusing Features, researchers have attempted to match unique visual features across images to determine features that tend to provide false matches. However, this method of matching is computationally inefficient and cannot be scaled. Another approach for VPR has been to use semantics, where a human provides input regarding what particular semantic classes are useful for VPR. However, this process of human input is not desirable. With the recent rise of deep learning, a famous approach for VPR has been NetVLAD. Essentially, NetVLAD extracts global image descriptors based on residuals from VLAD cluster centers, and these image descriptors can be matched to perform VPR, where VLAD stands for Vector of Locally Aggregated Descriptors. This pipeline is trained end to end using a triplet loss, where essentially the goal is to push an anchor closer towards a positive and farther away from negative. One particular analysis of the NetVLAD paper provides insights into what NetVLAD has learned through contrastive learning. The authors used a sliding gray occlusion window to measure the change in values to create a heat map. It was observed that NetVLAD learned to ignore confusing features and instead focuses on describing relevant structures for VPR, such as buildings. Here, the red pixels represent higher change. So, in the context of these prior works, we make the following key contributions. We propose an unsupervised method for estimating the environment and place specific utility of visual cues represented as VLAD clusters. We further use this utility to build a unified hierarchical VPR pipeline. Our pipeline shows state of the art performance while providing storage and compute time benefits. Also, the utility visualizations and analysis help us provide a bridge between human semantics and automated segmentation based visual relevance. Before going into details, I would like to clarify a few terms in the context of our work. In our work, we refer to an environment as a city or a whole traverse, and refer to a place as a single image within the city or traverse. At the core of our method is contrastive learning. Each NetVLAD descriptor of an image contains multiple clusters. These clusters describe various parts of the image. In a triplet setup, as shown in the equation, the difference in the values of each cluster varies. We observe that this distribution of cluster-wise distances within the reference map can be used to estimate the utility of clusters for VPR. Furthermore, it was observed that lower cluster distances tend to cause high perceptual aliasing, which falls in line with our intuition. We make the following key adaptations for computing the margins. For each triplet, we consider the cluster-wise residuals of a VLAD vector. Furthermore, we consider that the anchor positive distance approaches zero, given nearby images are similar. We then consider the margin computed for each cluster using only the anchor negative distances as utility. This process can be done at both an environment level and particular to a place. Essentially, we consider a positive localization radius where images beyond twice this radius are considered negatives. As shown in the equation, the place-specific utility is calculated using all the anchor negative pairs. For environment-specific utility, this process is performed at a global level. We then apply k-means clustering to obtain two bins containing high and low utility clusters respectively. Visualizing the same, we take a reference map and firstly extract the NetVLAD descriptors. Then we use these descriptors to estimate the utility of the clusters, both at an environment and place-specific level. Then we use this utility to filter local features and key points belonging only to high utility clusters. In our case, we use SuperPoint for the local features. We start out by qualitatively analyzing the estimated environment and place-specific utilities. In environment-specific utility estimation, we classify the clusters into two bins, namely high utility and low utility. When we visualize the image patches corresponding to these two categories, we observe that things such as cars, pedestrians, sky, railway tracks are of low utility. Also, it can be seen that signs and unique visual cues are of high utility. Furthermore, it can be seen that for an urban environment, the roads are considered low utility, whereas in an open vegetative environment such as Nordland, they're considered important. A rather interesting insight is that windows, which are a part of buildings, are deemed to be low utility in Berlin environment due to their high perceptual aliasing. This is different from a human's intuition of visual relevance, where essentially all parts of the buildings are considered important. Moving on, we visualize the various clusters by their place-specific utility, where essentially blue indicates high utility and red indicates low utility. In an urban environment, we can see that roads and distractors such as pedestrians, cars are flagged as low place-specific utility. It can also be observed that salient parts of a place such as signs, unique visual cues are of high utility. Furthermore, when the same is visualized for Nordland, it can be observed that cues such as a second railway track, railway crossing, roads, and houses are considered to be of high place-specific utility. Further combining both environment and place-specific utility, it can be observed that elements that cause perceptual aliasing at a particular environment level can be dropped from the place-specific level, thereby mitigating transient errors. For example, here the window panes are dropped. Similarly, for Nordland, the watermark and the railway track are dropped. To further analyze the behavior of utility, we perform a case study where a virtual landmark is placed at varying intervals within an environment. It is observed that when the landmark is placed at only a few locations within the reference map, the utility of the particular cluster describing it is high. However, when it is placed densely, the utility is low. This is in line with our intuition and showcases the robustness of the proposed utility estimation. Given the robustness of the proposed utility, we aim to employ it in local feature matching for VPR. We firstly estimate the utility for a reference map. Then we use the Nebula descriptors to perform global candidate search and extract the top C candidates. Then we use the estimated utility to select the top X, ES, and PS utility clusters. Then we accordingly filter the local features and perform local feature matching to determine the best match. We quantitatively benchmark our pipeline on three datasets, namely Berlin Kudam, Oxford Day versus Night, and Nordal Summer versus Winter. Furthermore, given the plug-and-play nature of our proposed utility, we employ our utility in hierarchical pipelines such as Superglue, HFNet to achieve state-of-the-art performance, while also showing large improvements in storage and computing time. Here we use the top 10 utility clusters for the PS utility method, and we use the top X-1 clusters for ES and PS utility method, where X is the number of high utility clusters. We also analyze the performance at a varying number of clusters, and it can be seen that same performance or better performance can be achieved at a lower number of top utility clusters. Furthermore, we analyze the performance and storage trade-offs. We observe that our proposed method provides large improvements in storage and compute time while providing similar or greater performance. For example, for Berlin, the performance is retained even at a relative storage of 20%. We qualitatively visualize the matches to analyze benefits of proposed utility. Here it can be seen that vanilla superpoint obtains a false match due to the perceptual aliasing caused by the watermark, whereas utility guided superpoint obtains the correct match. Further, we show visualizations of matching using only top 3 utility clusters. It can be seen that salient parts such as signs are considered very important, enabling robust matching. A similar case can be seen for Nordland and Oxford. Another interesting insight is that utility guided superpoint leads to more semantically meaningful matches compared to vanilla superpoint. Moving on, we further analyze the effect of varying vocabulary size. It was observed that higher number of clusters did not always lead to better performance for NetVLAD, vanilla superpoint, and ES utility. To conclude, the key takeaways I would like to emphasize are: we propose a robust, unsupervised method for estimating utility of visual cues. Not all human-based semantically intuitive features are important for VPR. Hierarchical utility is important for localization and mapping. We provide an initial step towards establishing a bridge between human and machine-based understanding or visual relevance for visual place recognition. Please feel free to have a look at our source code and connect with me through any social media platform. Thank you for your attention.